Hello and welcome to the Corgi Town USA podcast. Here for you every Thursday, all things Corgi and the pet lifestyle is myself, Candy Kemp, owner of Corgi Town USA. In my lap is Chuckles, the spokescorg of Corgi Town USA and president of the Corgi Committee. We also have...
I'm Catherine Cohen, mommy to Corgi Digby, who is the chairman of the Corgi Committee, and also mommy to Wigan, who is an honorary Corgi.
What do we call him? Australian cattle corg?
Yes, he is now an Australian cattle Corgi.
Cattle corg.
And I swear, if Eric hears me change that darling Australian cattle dog's name to a cattle corg, he will freak out.
It'll be our secret.
It'll be our secret.
But we also have in studio tonight, Booger. She's joined us.
Yes.
She is my senior rescue girl. And bless her little paws, she's having a good time with us tonight. And Mortimer is here. And Hammer is here as well. And he was kind of poking in a little bit, but I don't know if he'll hang out in the studio. So
everybody is here.
Yeah, the whole Corgi Committee. So, but we wanted to bring back an honored guest.
Yes.
So from season 1, dear listener, dear follower, thank you so much for staying with us. We value you. We honor you. We're so grateful to have you. We brought on Laura Russell of Three Crazy Corgis, which is now 4 Crazy Corgis. There's still 3 Crazy Corgis, but there are 4. Right?
There are 4 of them now. and yeah, a little like you.
Probably a lot like me.
Yeah.
I keep
they
wanting
multiply.
more.
Yeah. They do. It's like chicken. It's like chicken math. Corgi math and chicken math. And for those of you who've heard the term chicken math, it's a thing. You know, it's a thing because once you have 2 chickens, you can't get 1. You want 2 more, which you need odd numbers, and then you have 3, then you have 5. Now I need 9.
But with corgis, you vacuum a lot more because the chickens you'll probably keep in a coop or in a yard.
the chickens do keep them outside in the coop.
I probably wouldn't recommend having them in the house.
No,
not with the corgis.
Not with corgis.
But we wanted to bring Laura back.
Yes.
She has some handicapped corgis, including Boots, who was born handicapped. If you haven't seen that episode, please go to our YouTube page and go into season 1 and look up 3 Crazy Corgis. Go to their Instagram page as well. So much cute content of these adorable little babies. Such a wonderful family they have. But they also have Buttercup.
They do have Buttercup.
Who is also handicapped. And she just wrote a book. And should we bring her on and talk about the book?
Absolutely. Let's talk about the book because it's wonderful.
Yeah, we're so excited. Laura, welcome back.
Hi, ladies. Thank you for having me.
You're always welcome.
Thank you for taking the time. So let's talk about the book is now released. It's about Buttercup and it's rolling with it. Words of wisdom from a Wheelie cool corgi.
There she is. Ignore the line. That's the author. This is my proof. But yes.
Yes. So if you're listening on one of our platforms, please go to our YouTube page so you can see a copy, or you can purchase this book on Amazon. And it's just go to Amazon.com and I would look for Rolling With It, Words of Wisdom from it, because there is a link here, which I'll share in the description box on YouTube and also in our description boxes if you listen to an online platform for one of our audios so that you can just click to look quickly. But that's where I would search is on Amazon so you can find this. But let's talk about this book and the release, Laura. Tell us what inspired you to write this book.
I've been wanting to do this ever since Buttercup lost her mobility back in 2018. And just as a refresher, while she was 3 years old and while she was sleeping, a disc ruptured in her back. And we rushed her to the emergency vet. She was in surgery very, very quickly. And she never regained her mobility after that. She regained feeling in her legs, but she never regained her full mobility. She's starting to do a little bit of walking here and there, but she'll never fully walk again. And so she uses a wheelchair. So in those first early dark days when we just weren't sure what was going to happen to our sweet 3-year-old corgi, and she'll be 7 next month, by the way.
Happy birthday!
Yay, Buttercup! 7 years old almost. Even in those early days, as I was just in a really sad, dark place with my sweet girl and not knowing her future, social media, just the friends we've met there just surrounded us with so much love and compassion and encouragement And that really helped me get me through those dark days. So I wanted to do something kind of as a thank you to people all over the world who just believed in us and believed in Buttercup. And I thought, how can I do that? And I thought, I want to write a little book as kind of a thank you note to everyone, saying, thank you for giving us so much encouragement. And here's encouragement and love we want to give back to y'all.
Aw.
That is so
I love
sweet.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And so how long did it take you to write it? I'm sure you had inspiration and you probably had to weed some down to make it a little bit more succinct. I would think that it would kind of flood in for you.
I did. It's a very simplistic book. So it could be for children. It could be for people of all ages. So as far as writing it, things came easily. Like one of the pages is smile, throw smiles around like confetti. Be kind to everyone. Kind of roll with what life gives you. Keep moving. I'm paraphrasing on that one. So really, it took me an afternoon. It just took me a quick little afternoon.
It poured out of you.
It just poured out of me after 3 years of caring for Buttercup and getting all this encouragement from our social media community. The words just kind of just fell out of me. And I think right now in today's world, we need all the encouragement and written pieces of sunshine that we can get.
100%.
So my question is, did the words pour out of you, or did the words come to you telepathically through Buttercup?
Probably a little of both.
Osmosis.
Yes.
Right.
That connection.
Corgis stare into your souls.
They do.
I think Buttercup was, Mom, tell everybody to be nice. You know what I mean? But truly, it's, when you look at the news every day, it's so easy just to feel down and depressed. And then you go to social media, particularly Instagram, pretty much, and you just see friendly dog faces and friendly faces of ready to be there to say, hey, good job, keep going, we've got this, we're in this together. You know what I mean? And I just, yes. I think that's, so Buttercup's journey, connecting me with so many people on Instagram have just inspired so much of the content of this book.
Oh, I think, one of the most important things to remember when you're looking at one of these books, or these inspirational, and we've talked about corgis with various health challenges, and that is the fact that your fur baby, your cat, your dog, your corgi, not only are they in discomfort to pain, but they can't really tell you, and they can't complain, and they don't complain. Right. They really don't. And so,
I mean, Digby complains. Not like that though. It's different complaining.
Yeah, Digby lets his my little boy lets his thoughts be known, but he doesn't complain. They don't complain. They can cry out or whatever, but it's a lesson for all of us to just be grateful for that which we have. I mean, there's, I've got Mortimer here, and he's like just so grateful to jump up on my lap and be pet. And
he's demanding. She's being kind.
Yes. No, I think he's just so grateful.
Love and warmth. And
that's right. That's right.
And that's it. When you allow an animal into your heart and into your life, it transforms you. It just does. I think animals make us better people. They can make us more compassionate and more understanding. And that's one of the things we want to relay on our social media, and particularly with Buttercup's journey. In fact, the very last page of her book, I said, each day is a precious gift. Dream big, live joyfully, love deeply. And those are simple concepts, but yet they're very powerful concepts, because that's how dogs live moment to moment. They live day to day, and they're so thankful and grateful for the kindness of their families and of strangers. And you know what I mean? So I think that's when people read this little book, there are simple lessons, but they're very powerful, all-encompassing lessons about how we should live and how we should interact with others, both with humans and with other dogs and animals in general. You know?
How we should treat each other. And I had this conversation recently with a friend. I said, I feel like we could all learn a few things from our corgis about interacting with each other.
That's right.
Because even with my 4 corgis, like with Reese is our third, and he has a lot of anxiety, and he's more of a lone wolf, and he comes by for a drive-by pet, but he doesn't want to cuddle up. He doesn't want to hang with the gang. He just gets his lovin's when he wants them. But we've learned a lot from him. Like, not all dogs are lovey, friendly, happy-go-lucky pups. And that's okay. So where we've learned a lot from Buttercup, we've learned a lot from Reese, we've learned a lot from Peanut and Boots. Life is full of lessons. Life is full of growth. Life is full of changes. And we need to just keep moving forward and lean on each other and find hope where we can find hope, find joy, find love, find peace wherever we can, because even if it's in little tiny moments or big moments, but especially in the little day-to-day moments.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. And what's amazing is they're so good for mental health for us. Like, to me, I look at them as gifts. Like, these pets are gifts. And I've had those thoughts before where if I'm having a tough day with anxiety or depression, which too many of us deal with that.
Yes.
But I've certainly had a lot of it, and a lot of people who haven't before in the last 18, 19, 21 months. But I've thought to myself, how in the world can I be upset about anything? I have these wonderful gifts here bringing me so much joy. And no matter what happens, look at all this love that I'm surrounded by and the silliness. And I can be upset about something and throw a fit, and Mortimer will do something totally goofy. And then it completely snaps me out of it because it's just so absurd and so silly.
That's going back to our social media community. I'll often have somebody at least once a week direct message me saying, I deal with anxiety, I deal with depression, I struggle. But then I come to your feed and I see Buttercup and I see Boots, and it gives me a little bit of boost of energy to keep moving through my day. And when people take time out of their day to direct message me something that personal, it fills my heart with warmth and joy that these little corgis here in North Carolina can touch someone's life in an impactful way. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming to think about.
Yeah, it's a big why. It's our big why.
It's our big why. Yeah. I mean, as much as we tease Digby and he is a little psychotic, I mean, I, like so many people, just for example, had a reaction when I got my shot. So here I am laying on the couch, not feeling well. And there he is jumping on the couch, which I don't particularly encourage, but he jumps up on the couch, up at my head, and he's just licking my forehead and putting his head on my shoulder, making sure that I'm okay, and showing me that he understood I wasn't, feeling my best, and that he was there for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Animals are very intuitive. They're very intuitive.
Crazy.
It's my 17-year-old and Buttercup are very, very emotionally connected.
Aww.
And if she comes home and has a hard day, she'll sit on the floor and Buttercup just comes right up to her and just cuddles her. It's just amazing to see. Like the two of them especially just have this very strong connection.
How wonderful.
That's so precious. You reminded me, because I'm so good at tanking the subject matter. I'm sorry. You reminded me of a story. I used to have, years and years ago, I had a roommate. My first Corgi, Lilo. I had a roommate that lived with me, and she had a Malteon named Bella. And so they were pals. Lilo, my first Corgi, and Bella, the Malteon. And I remember one day I was working late, and I was so worried about Lilo because I wasn't sure when my neighbor would get home. And Bella was a little, I don't remember why I wasn't worried about Bella, but I think she like did better. But I was just, Lilo needed that interaction. And I was like, I'm not home, and I need to get home to him, and I'm so worried about him. And I just was having this little anxiety on the way home going, I'm getting home to you, buddy. I'm getting home to you. My roommate calls me. She had actually gotten home. I didn't know what time she was going to get home. She calls me on the way home, and she says, are you okay? And I said, yeah, that's so strange. Why are you asking me this? She said, Lilo is at the door where you come in the kitchen. We come in, there was a carport where we live, and he is whining, and he keeps like going to the door and turning around and sitting and looking up at the door like he's expecting you. And I just wondered if he knew something I didn't. And I said, that is so weird because I've been worried about him, that emotional connection. My first Corgi and we're like that. Oh, always very picked up on what I was feeling before, sometimes even before I knew I was going to feel it.
Wow. That's amazing. That's a real story.
They become your heart dogs, you know, they're just, they touch you that way. So
yes,
I didn't mean to take this over. I wanted to talk about the book.
No, this is all in the flow. Absolutely fit in.
Well, tell us about, so this is Buttercup's Book of Wisdom. Tell us about some of your favorite words of wisdom. Maybe read us a little excerpt. Give us a teaser about this book.
Give us a teaser. Okay. I think my favorite one is simply be kind to everyone you meet. And I'll show you that page. Before COVID, she would go into nursing homes.
Aww.
And she got lots of hugs and cuddles from the residents there. And it's just to see people light up when they see a dog, and just the flood of emotions that dogs can bring out of people. I think they remind us to be kind to each other. Let's just, even a simple act of holding open a door for somebody, or saying please and thank you, or just here, have my seat on the bus. You know, it just simple acts of kindness just have ripple effects throughout the world. And can you imagine if each of us took the time every day to be kind to someone? Just be kind. And so that's one of my favorite little excerpts from the book. Again, very simplistic, but impactful. I just had somebody direct message me today saying that her husband read the book to their baby last night as a good night book. And that just, my heart exploded when I heard that. It meant so much to me to think that, you know, these little nuggets of wisdom are impacting a little tiny baby, even though they don't know it yet. You know what I mean? But little seeds are being sown. So they have good parents reading them things about being kind to one another, and
that will also be a precious memory with that family, with that baby growing up. Will think, I remember that was one of my favorite books that my dad used to read to me.
Yeah. Before crying. I'm a crier.
Yeah, well, I have to say my sister used to work, my siblings are much older than me. My sister worked in a bookbindery, and she would bring me home books. I was an avid reader and had books read to me, and I can tell you some very specific books Laura, that's going to happen to you. There, years later, somebody's going to say, I remember that book that your Corgi wrote, and my dad, my mom, my whatever used to read it to me at bedtime. So.
Yeah,
that would be a beautiful legacy for Buttercup to leave behind, because she won't be with us forever. So I would love that to be her little legacy,
Yeah.
And it will.
Inspiration.
Yeah, it will. I'll never forget. My grandpa read books to me. Like, my grandpa was always the one that would read me books to sleep. And I still remember some of my favorites. I remember there was the Cajun Night Before Christmas.
Oh, that's so fun. Are you from Louisiana?
No, I don't know why we had the book, but it was hilarious because my grandpa would read it with full-on inflection.
Nice. Oh,
and
boy.
It's a treasured memory growing up. But now Buttercup's in the spreading all this wonderful wisdom. And I bet that's not the only baby that's going to grow up with her wisdom being read to her. Yes. So this is absolutely a legacy. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And how exciting is that? Great in the history. But you talk about the social media and how you want to give back with this book, and you want to kind of give back the wisdom and share the love back, like mirroring. That's what your social media pages do. The Three Crazy Corgis. I mean, it brightens my day. Every time, we have a new Three Crazy Corgis post. Oh, look, Boots, Buttercup, the whole, it's.
Thank you.
That's what they do. I mean, there's already a legacy being created through the whole, and your family and growing up and the memories that you're creating with them. So it's all very powerful. I think your mission is being accomplished.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. That means a lot to me. It really does.
Yeah. Well, viewer, listener, please go to Amazon and purchase this book. I mean, not only are you getting a wonderful piece of legacy and amazing philosophy from a dear Corgi, and you got to love the can-do Corgi spirit no matter what, but you're also helping Laura care for her corgis because she has handicapped corgis, and we know how expensive vet bills are.
Yes.
And how it takes a lot of time, a lot of emotional energy, a lot of mental energy. It all takes a lot of money. So you are helping by purchasing a book in many, many other ways. You're helping spread the love, and you're also helping the family. And if the more books you sell, you might have to print more, and we would love that for you.
That's right.
Well, fortunately, Amazon, these are printed on demand from Amazon, which is amazing. It's such a great program. So they print on demand. So I don't have to have any physical copies. Amazon prints it and handles everything top to bottom. I just had to submit the design.
But it would be great to sell more.
Yes, let Amazon print more.
Because, Buttercup's medical bills go towards her battling her urinary tract infections, and all of her supplements and her physical treatments that we get for her. So, but truly, the main focus is always just to be inspirational. Honestly, I would love to see this book. When I first started sitting down and formulating what I wanted for this book, I would love for somebody to say, "Oh, I have a friend who's under the weather. I'm going to send them this little book." Like, I envision this little book going to some people in hospitals, or people who just need a little bit of encouragement, that a friend would say, "I'm just going to send my friend this little book." Like, I would love to see that happen. I would like to receive a little book of encouragement in the mail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Sure. Well, and I was talking about my grandpa reading to me. He had neighbors that passed away from ALS. Mm-hmm. And ALS is, we talk about canine ALS and DM, dermalopathy, here on the podcast a lot. But he had a neighbor that loved to read. Mm. And that same grandpa that would read to me would read to his neighbor. Oh. So again, here I go with the subject matter, but reading to people, books are such comfort when you need it. Be it if you're reading it to yourself, someone's reading it to you, and especially something with such a heartfelt message. Absolutely. So please go to Amazon.com, purchase your copy of Rolling With It, Words of Wisdom from a Wheelie. That's Wheelie. Cool Corgi. And please support Three Crazy Corgis on Instagram, and it's Facebook, right? Facebook, Instagram, Three Crazy Corgis. and help support Laura and the crew. Any
Absolutely.
final thoughts?
Thank you, ladies, for having me on and letting me share this story and letting me share this exciting little book with y'all and with your listeners and your viewers. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being willing to share the story and come on and pour your heart out, because we know what this feels like. We're Corgi people. We get it.
Absolutely. For finding the good in something that may not be so great looking on the outside.
Yeah. We're trying to wrap up this heartfelt podcast here, and Booger is on the ground and Mortimer is pretty enthusiastic about her, and that feeling is not returned.
Oh, no.
So she's over here protesting. So I guess I better do it through. Laura, have a great night. Again, please, listener, viewer, buy a copy of Rolling With It, Words of Wisdom from
buy
a
two
really
copies.
Cool Corgi. Buy
one for you and one to send to somebody who really could use the cheering up.
Buy one as a gift.
That's right.
Well, Laura, thank you so much. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, ladies. It's good to see you both again.
Good to see you. Give our love to the whole crew.
Sure will. Thank you.
All right.
And your crew, too.
Thanks. We will. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, ladies.
I can't wait to read it.
Yes.
I'm going to order my copy. I'm going to read it.
It looks adorable.
To my corgis. I'll read it to my corgis. They'll probably be like, we already know this. You're the one that needs the wisdom, human.
Yeah, probably. They are far, far smarter than we are.
Well, at least they think so, for sure. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We are here for you every Thursday, all things Corgi Pet Lifestyle. Please follow us. Please like and subscribe this video if you like it, if you are watching on YouTube. Otherwise, listen on your favorite platform, the audio. Follow us, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all the good stuff.
And send us your Corgi stories as well on Corgi Town USA on the Facebook page. Share with us.
We would love your Corgi stories.
And inspire each other.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great night.